Asherlow. It'll be grand.
And welcome back to Sure It'll Be Grand, the podcast about two Irish Egypts who give you their two Irish Egypt opinions, and it's the Christmas special. It's a big hello from me, Daniel, and a big hello from Owen, my man over here.
You what it do?
Yeah, I want to hear you do a high-pitched Sure It'll Be Grand intro because, folks, we did it like 3 times.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Wow, and it's just apparently I have a certain note. I'm like, you know, like those Russian opera singers that like shatter the glass.
It's a dog whistle. That's all it's hearing. The whole estate, every dog is just pricked up around the estate right now.
Yeah. I want to try it now. In case, we're not going to, like, if you hear it, you hear it. If you don't, you don't. Welcome back.
Okay, wait, cut out again.
No,
it's literally the first bit where you're trying to say, and that's just gone.
All right, I guess you'll be hearing my more seductive, darker tones.
Ooh, yeah, take it down a notch, baby.
And folks, based on this going on social media, and you're going to have a big plastered image come along this post, you know the statement we are making with this podcast. Isn't that right, Owen?
Yes. It's about damn time, too. All right.
It's finally time. Someone stood up to this tyranny.
The gloves are off, okay? I'm not listening to this shit any longer.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
No, it fucking isn't. It's not a Christmas movie.
Isn't.
Get your head out of your ass. And that's our episode this week, folks. Thank you very much for listening. That's all we have here.
No, folks. Look, we're going to do a little review on Die Hard, but we're going to give you our points, mostly why we don't think it's a Christmas movie, and maybe why some people, I'm not going to say consider a Christmas movie, but why some people want it to be a Christmas movie. Because I think that's the main force behind all of this. The reason why some people go to the fore to fight for this movie to be a Christmas movie. I think that's a fairly, and I'm going to say it's mostly a certain gender that pushes this narrative. I think it's fair to say.
That's probably fairly accurate. Yeah. I have stats for this later on in the episode. Yeah.
All right.
I have some stats. I have some statistical, factual information to back up everything I'm about to say. Can you give us one
just to get juices flowing?
I can give you, so they're basically, they're all similar stats, basically. There's just multiple polls that have been conducted on this question, is Die Hard a Christmas film? All of them were leaned towards no in the majority. That's all I'm going to say. But I'll give you who did the polls later. Also, I like to say hi, everyone. It's been a while. I think we haven't been here since Halloween, I think.
Yeah.
Was the last episode we did. I guess we're a seasonal. We just come back and do specials.
At the moment, we skipped over that whole Lord of the Rings thing.
We have a habit of making false promises to people. But look, we're here now. We're doing Die Hard. Have you been watching any good shit in the last while? It's not like we don't just watch things for the podcast. By the way,
I always feel like when I'm watching things nowadays, I'm like, you could do a podcast on this. There's a little tiny voice in the back of my head that says it. Like, for the most part, I'm just like, just enjoy the fucking film.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I mean, I rewatched Avatar 1 and then I watched Avatar 2 like 2 days ago.
It
in one day.
Slaps.
Okay. All right. Let's give this a tiny mini review and without spoilers and all that kind of stuff. I think it did mostly what the first Avatar movie did, as in it really heightened visual effects and visual storytelling in a big way, like the original. I think the story is a little bit stronger, and I think they punch a little bit harder, but I don't think the story is that much better. Like
I think it does every single thing that the first one does, but it does it better and bigger and in a vastly superior way. And I think vastly is over
everything.
It's way better than the first one, and I don't think so. I liked the first one.
Yeah, okay, but I watched the first one again, and I'm going to say this: I actually was surprised. I enjoyed the first one a lot more. I think probably the second viewing since the initial release, and I really appreciate a lot of the world building. I think that's the best part about these movies. The world building is gorgeous. It's really
phenomenal.
fantastic. It's so smart too. It's like people just think, oh, it's just super good special effects. No, there's a really good storytelling element of how the world is made. Like that, it's really impressive. And I think the second movie did it better, but I don't think it's vastly better. I think it's an improvement. I think the visuals are way better, obviously, because
way better.
They had time
which actually is honestly quite an achievement in and of itself. I mean, I know
the original movie still looks good.
I know it's been 13 years, but like to like for one filmmaker within the same franchise to like reset the bar for how good this kind of shit can look. It's
a new bar. It really is a new bar height for us. But I think story-wise, like there was some strong punch. I think there might have been too many story plots going on a little bit here and there, which is saying something for a 3-hour-long movie. You think it'd have enough room, but there's sort of parts like I want to know more about, weird witch cat girl now. Her ma is in the space tree internet, right? Like, I want more of that.
Yeah, but that's all. So all of that stuff is like the way I looked at that. Kiri and all of the stuff that's going on with her. That was all set up for the next ones.
I get that, right?
Like that's going to be.
It was like in the first half of the movie. Like, give it more to the later half of the movie where we're like, okay, this will show up more in the sequel, not in the. Let's show at the beginning and then just drop it. Like,
no, she does some weird stuff.
Oh, she puts a few fish to go around the boat. That come on.
She's the Messiah, probably something or other. Something's going on. Anyway, I fucking loved Avatar 2. I'm probably gonna go see it again.
Really cool,
really good movie.
Oh yeah, definitely watch it in cinema. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch it in the cinema.
Yeah,
I watched a bunch of things that are new that came out. I'll give you a quick fire.
Did you watch the Santa Claus TV series?
No.
I watched the first two movies and I left it at that because I just realized it's super Republican and conservative.
That's what Tim Allen is. Let me see. What have I watched since we were last here? I watched the first Enola Holmes, not the second one, the first one for the first time. It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. I haven't watched the second one yet. I watched The Good Nurse on Netflix. That was really good. We both watched Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
We were going to do an episode on, but I don't know. I don't think both of us were really in the mood to criticize. It's a fun movie. Watch it.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched.
Rest in peace, Weird Al.
Weird Al died.
Think about this. Think about the movie.
Damn, man, I had no idea.
It was in the movie. He died.
That's crazy. Can't believe Weird Al is dead.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And Madonna is a cunt.
Well, we all knew that. I watched All Quiet on the Western Front on Netflix.
It's amazing.
Fucking brilliant. It's absolutely stunning. We both watched Black Panther. I thought it was a complete waste of my time. To be honest, I didn't care for it.
I think they could have probably waited longer and done a
I
story.
think they should have, definitely.
Yeah. Again, look, there is a certain element of it that this movie means more to other people than me, but for me, it didn't have the same spark as the original movie.
I don't think there was a way they could have really done it properly, but what they did do was definitely not it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Hated Namor in it, by the way. No.
Terrible. Like every time he was on screen, I laughed. Not at him, but specifically when he flies with his little winged
I think visually wise, like I think the art department involved in this movie, again, very talented people. They did some cool storytelling, but I don't know, just the whole vibe was completely off for me.
Yeah, and I thought the ending was dumb as fuck. I watched The Banshees of Inisherin. Is fucking brilliant. Really.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Fucking really, Martin McDonagh's new film with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, cool.
Really fucking good. I watched. What else did I watch? I went to see After Sun last week. Also really fucking good. Not at all what I was expecting it to be, but very, very good. Yeah. There you go. Those are the big ones. I watched some other stuff, but none of them are really worth talking about.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've watched much. It's hard to tell because a lot of times I watch things at work, so I kind of leave them in the back. I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I kind of want to watch Spirited. Like it's antithesis to what I normally want to watch because I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan, as you well know, and I especially don't like Will Ferrell in Christmas movies, as you well fucking know.
That thing,
Yeah.
I forgot that
I
existed.
have heard him and Ryan Reynolds sing in like some TikTok. I went, well, that's kind of endearing. Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, he's all right. He's there.
He's not like it's just a take where like I just don't saying Ryan Reynolds is in it. That doesn't sell the movie to me.
Oh,
No,
I mean,
like,
but I'm going to be honest with you.
Whatever, he's fine.
That doesn't really work with any characters. I mean,
that's because
in fact, someone does the opposite because the Mario movie. I'm still going. I like the trailers.
That's because there's no movie stars left.
Yeah, no, I mean that's nonsense, but okay.
Who said that? I can't remember. Some big director said this recently.
Probably some old director who hasn't made a movie that's entertained the masses in years
James
and
Cameron?
is now sour about it. That's probably it.
Might have been James Cameron. I don't want of them. Was it?
Look,
no, it
it's
was
one
somebody.
of them. You know
One of
the
the other
directors
guys.
we're talking about.
One of them. I don't know. I don't
They're
know.
just
I can't remember
angry
who it was.
old men now.
Oh,
Who are just
no, it
like,
was Quentin Tarantino.
Things aren't like they used to be in my time.
It was Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, okay. Who gives a shit?
It wasn't really what he said. He basically said that the people don't go to see Marvel movies for the actor anymore. Like the character is bigger than the actor, and movies are sold on the character and not the person that's playing them. And the people playing the big Marvel superheroes are not the same as movie stars before because people don't go see movies to see them. They go to see the character.
I know I'm kind of defeating my own point by saying this, but what was the martial arts based Marvel movie that came out recently? Well, last year or so.
The Marvel one?
The Nine Rings.
Shang-Chi.
The main actor for that came back and said, well, yeah, but in your time, people like me didn't get the main roles in movies either. And he has a point.
I mean...
He does. That's absolutely a fair point. If we want to talk about this
he's making a point.
Times,
he's making a point, but it's in a different conversation, I think.
No, I think it was in response to that.
No, but it's not really relevant to what Quentin Tarantino was saying.
We're talking about stars in movies. Of course it is.
Yeah, but his point is he's not a star. The character is the star. But he
hasn't had the time yet to grow into a star.
Yeah, but none of them are.
Of course. Yeah, but any new star back then. I mean, Chris Pratt is a movie star. Of course he is.
Yeah, but you're not. The point he was making is not.
People do go to movies for Chris Pratt. They absolutely do.
The point he was making was you're not going to see. Nobody's going to see the next Guardians of the Galaxy to see Chris Pratt. They're going to see Star-Lord.
No, I disagree. People are going to Jurassic Park for Chris Pratt. They're going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy for Chris Pratt. People are going to watch a Mario movie because Chris Pratt is in it.
Not a single person went to see Jurassic World for Chris Pratt. You go for dinosaurs.
That's the statement you're making. I can't argue it, but it absolutely, in my eyes, is. People are going to these movies for it.
I disagree completely.
I don't know how. This is where they're hiring him because they know Chris Pratt will give a Chris Pratt performance.
Yeah, but it's not sold on him. He's not Tom Cruise.
It's sold on him.
You sell a movie on it's Tom Cruise. Yeah, but that's because he has to be. It's not. You're going to see Guardians. You're going to see Iron Man to see Iron Man, not to see Robert Downey Jr.
No, that's not true either. Like people go to see Robert Downey Jr. because people know Iron Man for Robert Downey Jr. People didn't even know really Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. made him in the movie
but you're going.
world,
He made fucking Doolittle and nobody went to see it.
Yeah, because it's shit.
But he was in it. If he was this fucking.
But people saw the trailers. The trailers looked bad. It wasn't a good-looking movie.
And he's not a movie star.
Robert Downey Jr. is absolutely a movie star.
I tell you who he's not. He's not Bruce Willis, who sold a movie off the strength of his own bald head.
He had lots of hair back then. Kind of.
No, I wouldn't say lots.
When the light hit him at certain angles, it didn't go well. All right, let's move on from Cossy's terrible opinions on movie stardom.
They're Quentin Tarantino's opinions, okay? I just agree with them.
I'll listen to him when he talks about feet, all right? We'll leave it at that. Anyway, let's get into Die Hard.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so 1988, Bruce Willis was in like a lot of rom-commy movies up to then when this script came around. Now, Die Hard, I forget the name of the book now, but it was originally a sequel to a Frank Sinatra movie. It was the same cop and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry,
And-
the book is called Nothing Lasts Forever.
Yeah, and that was a sequel to a movie that Frank Sinatra was in. The movie was actually made for Frank Sinatra, and he was just like 70 years of age and went, "No, I'm okay. I'm 70 years of age. I don't want to walk over broken glass, and this is not a Christmas movie." That's what he said.
He did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a quote,
Yeah.
direct quote. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So this is Bruce Willis, one of his earliest action films. He at this stage he was like doing albums. He was very much into not rom-com, just like romantic things. Which it's impressive that this is his first action movie, which is arguably the most popular and maybe the best action flick of all time. There's an argument to be made for that, I think.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is. Yeah, it's definitely one of the best action movies of all time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's much to tell people on the plot, John McClane is coming. He's an NYPD officer. He's going over to Los Angeles to see his estranged wife, Holly, which is not a Christmas thing.
Nope.
No, Holly's definitely not a Christmas
Kind
thing.
of the opposite of Christmas things.
Holly, yeah.
Oh, I meant the estranged
No.
part.
I'm definitely jumping on the Holly part.
I didn't catch that at all.
There you go.
Maybe this is a Christmas. No,
I love when we go through this whole thing and only went,
we're gonna argue ourselves into believing.
Yeah, his estranged wife, she's like a high, business career lady. She's changed her name back to her maiden name. He wants to be in her life, and she's just like, I want my career, and I can't just be a cop's wife, and all this kind of stuff. They're at her boss's corporate building. It's very sophisticated future sci-fi. Hmm?
Why are they at the boss's building?
They just finished a major deal.
Oh, yeah, okay. They're not.
Yeah,
what are they?
hey, I'm not wrong.
That's. I
I'm
mean,
not wrong.
yes, technically, but also it's a particular day of the year, I believe.
Yeah, because it's a Christmas party, and that's why the security is low. But they also make a big point that it's also a big business deal that they signed off on. The douchebag in the office gave McClane's wife a nice Rolex as a, hey, you got the deal, and also I'm probably going to bang you, and I do cocaine in your office.
Cocaine, Mr. Spot, buddy. Listen, look, I'm just gonna let's just put it out there on the table. This is the big point why everybody says it. Of course, it's a Christmas movie. It's set on Christmas Eve. All right.
Yes.
It is Christmas Eve morning when John McClane is flying back from New York to Los Angeles. He lands. It's a Christmas party in Nakatomi Plaza, which, by the way, was I go to pub quizzes semi regularly, and in three separate pub quizzes this year, a question was, what is the name of the building that Die Hard is set in? For some reason, don't know why, just kept coming up. It's Nakatomi Plaza, but yes, it's Christmas Eve. Okay, that's it, and that's where the Christmas ends.
That douchebag lets us know.
The soundtrack is also a Christmas song, but that's it. That's the end of it. We move on.
Yeah.
No,
Here's the point. Okay, so because it's set at Christmas, I want to talk about why I don't think it matters if it's set at Christmas. If you took out it being set at Christmas, you could set it to any other day of the year, Thanksgiving, just any day, it could just be middle of the week, and said, okay, they just finished a big deal. They're celebrating. The staff is low, and the security is low. This movie work exactly the same. It'd be weird. Like, took all the Christmas bits out. It works 100%.
there's one thing there's one thing you'd have to change in the whole rest of the movie if it wasn't set at Christmas, and that's when John McClane puts a Santa hat on a dead German and writes "ho ho ho" on his jumper.
Yeah.
He'd have to put something else on his head and write something else in his jumper. That's it. That's the only thing that changes.
If I had the resources now, I'd want to take Die Hard with you, and if you had the resources and the people work with us, and edit into a St. Patrick's Day version.
I think it could be done.
That'd be fucking amazing. Just a few CG effects, some diddly music going on in the background.
Yeah, that's
John
all.
McClane is definitely like Irish descent.
Yeah.
He's American. He can claim it.
He probably does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a New York City cop. He's definitely of Irish descent. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like his grandfather fought Italians or something, something like that.
Something. Yeah.
It's always something like that. But yeah, so like that's the first thing. A thing we didn't talk about, and we sometimes we do in the intro. For Christmas movie, they're usually released at a certain time of year, aren't they?
I tell you when that is. It's not in July. That's when that is.
Yeah. And I know there's the argument people make, but 34th, Miracle on 34th Street, that was set in I think March or February it came out. But it's fair enough. But when they were advertising this, they also hit everything Christmas related to 34th. Miracle on 34th Street, the original. They didn't say it was a Christmas movie at all.
Yeah, and Die Hard wasn't sold as one either. It's not a fucking... they released it, it came out in July in the States, and it came out in March in everywhere else, in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So none of it. It's not part of it's a newfangled idea of the last decade of a bunch of counterculture idiots going... Well, people who can't admit that they like a soppy Christmas movie going, it's the little, I'm a fucking, look how fucking cool and hardcore I am. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Die Hard, you idiot.
Yeah.
You nerd. You like to watch family romantic stuff on Christmas? Fuck you. I like a fucking balding man killing Germans. That's what I like. I'm cool.
But it boils down to I personally think it's the epitome of the movie for the da, isn't it? It's for the grumpy lad who doesn't want to share feelings at Christmas and would rather see a man achingly walk over broken glass than say hey, I like being with my family and friends to watch a nice movie.
Do you know what it is to me? Do you remember about, was it, God, actually it's about 15 years ago now, when the X Factor was at its height of everything.
Yes, I do.
And every year for about 5 years, the X Factor winner released their single, and it was Christmas number one.
It's guaranteed, yeah.
It was just nailed on. The X Factor winner is going to be Christmas number one. And then there was a big movement of people who hate that and hate everything pop and don't think it's real music, and they got Rage Against the Machine to number one, the Christmas number one in the UK. It's that, but for movies. Yeah. All right, that's what saying Die Hard is a Christmas movie is.
Yeah. And I think it's really popular at the moment to hate on Christmas. And I understand in certain parts of the world, obviously, there's quite an over-Christianization and people feel pushed to the side. And I guess, you wouldn't be a fan of Christmas. But for the rest of the world, it's like this thing where I have so many friends who are just oh, fuck Christmas, Halloween's the real holiday. And frankly, they're both consumeristic crap. It's what you make of these holidays more so than anything else, Yeah. I enjoy Christmas. I enjoy Halloween as well. I enjoy it because I try to do something thematic with friends and family. That's why these holidays are important to me. Not because of, don't get me wrong, I'm the first person to, if I see a thing, at the beginning of November of, Christmas decorations in shops, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? That's stupid. But, that's the consumerism about it. Christmas itself is grand. It's fine. It's whatever,
I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I properly love Christmas. All right.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I'm glad you brought it up, Dan, because there has been a war on Christmas lately. You know what? You can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. You have to say Happy Holidays. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's the Die Hard being a Christmas movie is the biggest element of the war on Christmas. And Die Hard literally is a war on Christmas. That's the movie, all right?
Oh, okay, that's the subtitle of Die Hard.
Die Hard,
War on Christmas.
The war on Christmas. That's what it is, okay?
Yeah, but this is this oversaturation of hating on Christmas, and I hate the consumerization of it and all this kind of stuff. But like, don't put Halloween on a pedestal of such a pure and good holiday in comparison. It's like, come on. There's more fucking Halloween junk thrown out the next day than there's Christmas junk. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But anyway, I probably have severed a lot of friendships just then by saying, fuck Halloween.
We don't need them. I don't need Halloween lovers in my vicinity.
But yeah, like you said, like some of the bigger like Christmas elements are just like, the German guy with the "I now have a machine gun, ho ho ho." Okay, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, I guess there is meant to be a sense of redemption. We have the cop outside that kind of helps McClane through the whole thing, Sergeant Al Powell, played by Reginald Vell Johnson. And, I think the redemption is at the end, he shoots one of the main bad guys, but he hasn't used his gun ever since. He killed a kid.
Ever since he fucking shot a kid.
He's a black cop, so it's not political. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I like how like the redemption arc as well is like, this poor cop, he shot a kid, and now he can't use his gun. Poor Mr. Policeman can't shoot people anymore. He shot somebody. Way to go, Mr. Powell. Like, fucking, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
He shot a kid. Okay, Al Powell's
it was hey. It was dark, and he thought he saw like a gun.
It was, which implies it was anyway.
No, it doesn't, because he's a black cop, so it's fine. All right.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yeah.
No, it's not nothing racist.
No, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. It's fine. It's perfectly okay. That was definitely not done on purpose or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I think there's another element like we're kind of mocking the counterculture and the owl da who's sick of Christmas thing, but I think a lot of the reasons people also look at Die Hard and say it's a Christmas movie, it's that juxtaposition idea. Like, it isn't inherently a very Christmassy movie. Like, it's almost very much the opposite. So because it has some, tangible connections, because it's set at Christmas and there's a few Christmas elements here and there, people like to like it's almost a joke by contrast,
I did like Die Hard being a Christmas movie. I'm fairly confident in saying started as a joke.
Of course.
Like, there's no way, like, it started as, like, probably a fucking BuzzFeed article by some random guy being like, my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Aren't I very clever? And people just went, hey, yeah, I can pin my personality onto this for a little while. I can.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I probably, when I first started, I was like, yeah, there are some things there, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. And then I went on with my life, never taking this onto my soul.
See, like, I watched this. Like, I watched it. I rewatched Die Hard last week, maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I can't remember now at this point. But recently, and I watched it with 3 people who had never seen Die Hard before, right?
Okay.
We sat down, and I was like, okay, first of all, you're going to watch Die Hard. All right. I want you to just when this movie ends, I'm going to ask you one question and just answer it immediately. Watch the movie, and I said, okay, everybody, was that a Christmas movie? Every single person in the room said no. Now, one person said it was a pile of crap, so let's ignore her completely.
I mean, that's just to make clear, we love this movie.
It's a great fucking movie. The other two, even they tried to think about it for a second, and was like, no, it starts off and it's set on Christmas, and then that's it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? So one big element of Christmas movies is that usually there's some sort of like Grinch or Scrooge like character, right? That's a fairly common thing. Some sort of bad guy or bad corporation or element that pushes against the spirit of Christmas, right? That's a fair, like, that's usually in these Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Hans Gruber is what people would say is this element, right? But to be fair, Hans Gruber's not trying to destroy Christmas or the Christmas spirit. He's there to get himself loads of money. He's not a terrorist. That's the big thing. People kind of keep forgetting. They were terrorists initially, but it was used as a cover up.
They were pretending. They had to pretend to be terrorists and take hostages so that the FBI would cut the power and they could get into the vault.
Exactly. Get all their money. Right. So, like, they're not here to like destroy the spirit of Christmas. They're not even here really to affect Christmas. This is just a heist. This is just a normal heist movie. If anything, and maybe it's my sort of fuck capitalism thing, John McClane is the Scrooge of the story for him. Here, some people want to make 20% of this massive amount of money, be on a beach somewhere, drinking some like nice martinis or wherever they drink on beaches. And here comes a cop who could literally just say, look, I just want to get my wife out of here. You can do whatever the fuck you want. We'll be on our way. And we just want to steal money and go.
It's not even. It's not even clear what John McClane's motivation is. To be quite honest, at some points, like if he just fucking sat there with the rest of them, Hans and the boys, their plan would have went off without a hitch. Nobody would have died, and they all would have just left with a load of money, and everybody would have been fine. He would have gone home to his kids on Christmas, which is what he should have done.
Oh, which, by the way, let's talk about this. Right. Any movie that has some sort of kids connected to it, you usually, see them in the movie. It's usually a big goal of the parent or the older person to try and talk to their kid or reach their kid or make their dreams come true on Christmas, right? That's a big thing. We know there's a kid, but really, I think if the kid wasn't a part of the story, this movie could have gone ahead as well.
No, I mean you see his daughter like once
on a photo, like, wasn't it?
But there's a moment where she's on the phone to the mother. I think it's like at the start of the movie before John arrives, and she calls the mother, and the mother tells the nanny or the maid or whoever to put the kids to bed and make up the spare room for John just in case.
Right.
That's it. It's the only time. And John McClane never mentions them. Like once the bullets start flying, he has a
picture, I think, in his wallet. That's what it is.
But like, there's never like I have to do this to get back to my kids. I gotta save my family. He's just like, fuck it. I'm a police officer. This is what I do. I kill the bad guys. Which is.
Do you know what he is? He is that conservative American ideal of the good guy with a gun.
Yeah.
He's the guy that, hey, if there was a good guy with a gun there, the day would have been saved. Because I love this movie, and I'm not going to just shit on conservative people, but like, this is a very conservative style movie. It's, the cop is a good guy. Maybe, nowadays, most people go, yeah. Even the cop who killed a kid, people are just like, the poor fella. Whereas now they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh, I'm glad he can kill people again.
Yeah, I'm glad he got over that hurdle, and now he can kill recklessly again.
Finally overcome his fear of shooting kids. He's a real policeman now.
Yeah, I think another like Christmas theme that I don't see in this movie is like the spirit or the authority of a higher power getting involved. I'm not talking about God.
Santa.
I'm talking about maybe sometimes Santa, but
the like magic Santa.
A general Christmas spirit coming and pushing the protagonist to do the right thing and making them go on. It's usually some sort of old man who says, maybe you should go to a town, and then a wispy snow comes away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I call the magic Santa. It's just
Yeah.
it's not. He's not always dressed as specifically in the big red suit with the beard and everything. But there's
Yeah.
some old guy who vaguely you think you look at him go, if he put on the red suit, he'd look like Santa maybe.
Yeah.
And he just randomly turns up when
And says
the main
mysterious things
characters
and then
at their
chuckles.
lowest point just goes and drops like a fortune cookie style.
It's like
memo.
I won that time you got a red bicycle when you were 6. What?
and they
Nothing.
whoa, forget I said anything, and it just
Yeah.
floats away. It's just, Santa's not in this movie at all.
So the closest thing to Santa is it Sergeant Al Powell? Because
He's
he's
Santa?
there on the phone. I mean, the closest thing to that a spiritual push is when John McClane decorates himself with explosives and Christmas wrap on those explosives. That's the closest thing to it's the most sort of outrageous expression of Christmas. It's blow up the bad guys,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, look, I mean, in terms of Christmas imagery that you'd expect to see in a Christmas movie, Christmas tree,
Yeah.
we see briefly at the start. Elves, 0, unless you want to pretend that the Germans are the elves or whatever. I don't know. Reindeer,
A
none.
blonde guy, elves are blonde, you know?
Reindeer, none. A scene set in a shopping mall of some sort, maybe. Doesn't happen. Santa Claus
Yeah.
doesn't show up. There's one little shot, I think, where there's a statue of a Santa on a table in the background at the start. And that's it.
And it
Nothing else.
snows.
It doesn't snow.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the next one. It doesn't snow in Die Hard. Probably because
No, it doesn't.
they're in Los Angeles, and if it's hot weather, which means it's not really
Yeah.
Christmas.
I will say it has a few Christmas songs. Even John McClane hums it, but again, I put that down to Let It Snow gets played. When the vault gets opened, there's a very sort of what's it called? A very sort of operatic music that starts, and it's quite Christmassy.
There's even Beethoven's Ninth Symphony plays at one point, and Ode to Joy plays.
Yeah,
and then Let It
and
Snow.
those are
and
quite.
the opening song is a Christmas song that Run DMC did in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's Christmas in Hollis,
So-
I think it's called.
So at least the people who did the soundtrack did say, "Yeah, look, it is set at Christmas. We'll do a few bits
Well,
of music here and there."
So next big point that people will use in the defense of this is that the screenwriter, one of the two screenwriters, Stephen D'Souza, tweeted some years ago. Somebody said, "What's the crack, man?" Well, they didn't say it like that, but let's pretend they did. Here, Stephen, what's the story by? You wrote the thing. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And he said, what did he say? He said, yes, the studio here's what he said exactly. Yes, because the studio rejected the Purim draft. # Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Purim is a Jewish holiday, which means when he wrote the thing, he wanted it to be set sometime else, which is probably why it came out in the summer. And then the studio were like, that's dumb, so he changed it all to Christmas. And it didn't matter a fuck to what was happening in the movie.
No.
Also, counterpoint against him, Bruce Willis said it's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
He ended the
to-
quote by saying it's not a Christmas
Yeah.
movie, it's a Bruce Willis movie. And
Yeah.
by God,
To
he's right.
To quote Marvel, Nick Fury's, "I recognize the council has made a decision, but considering it as a dumbass decision, I've elected to ignore it."
Yeah, but look, the way I look at the fact that it just so happens to take place in Christmas, because that's what it is. It just so happens to be Christmas. It's not central to anything
The
that actually
only
happens.
plot element
Right.
is that he's trying to get to his family. And that is a Christmas theme. Let's not deny it. That is a thing that happens at Christmas. But it's not Christmas exclusive. You don't give me that element and tell me, oh, that's an only Christmas plot. It's not.
Yeah, but even that, I don't spend the movie of Die Hard. I don't view John McClane as a man who is, he's just trying to get back to his family. John McClane enjoys what he's doing in this movie. Okay,
Oh, he does.
he's like, I'm
He's
fucking loving this, man.
Yeah.
He's a psychopath, but yeah.
Here's a question for you. If he was at that party and his wife and his children were not. Let's say his wife and his daughter were outside as this terrorist situation was going, and John McClane was trying to stop the bad guys and survive. Would that be more of a Christmas movie to you?
I think if the fact that John McClane's wife and also his kids, right, because his wife is one of the hostages. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
If that
let's say
no,
she
but
wasn't.
right. So if that became a thing, like if it was a case that Hans, like from the get go, or from earlier in the film, was using that against John, and then it became like, okay, he has to do this to save his family, kind of thing. Then maybe that's more Christmas than what actually happens, which is that the fact that his wife is one of the hostages
endangers her more.
It does, yeah, but it doesn't even become known until like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Yeah, and that's what endangers her.
Like nobody tells anybody.
We can use you, yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, cool, that's your husband down there." When that fucking cokehead decides to try and sell him out and get shot in the head because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
But even then, for the last like 20 minutes, it doesn't feel like John McClane is doing this to save his family.
No,
he's just like.
He's like, I love this Gruber
This is
guy.
like, if anything, this is a Christmas present for John McClane. That there just happens to be fucking terrorists. Not terrorists, fake terrorists or whatever.
He can't live like a happy family life. He's too much of like an Irish American cop from New York, that the only way he can celebrate Christmas is by walking on broken glass and murdering people.
Yeah, but
that's why people who are so grumpy in their ways enjoy this movie. It's toxic masculinity, man. It's toxic masculinity.
But it's like if John's family were completely out of the picture, if they weren't involved at all in any way, and John just happened to be trapped in a building, as I'm sure happens in the other Die Hard movies, some of them, even though I think the second one is. I think the second one is like exactly the first one because it's also set on Christmas and everything. Yeah, and then the third one is actually good, and the final two are rubbish. But John, like, if his family were completely not involved and John was in New York and in the subway and some German guys came in and started shooting up the place, he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't be like, oh, fuck it, no, my family are at home, I better go back to them. He'd still just shoot the bad guys. Because at the end of the day, that's how he's like, oh, he's a policeman, this is his duty to kill the bad guys.
Like, old school American idea of the good police cop who's an action hero and all this kind of stuff, and not the modern understanding of, hey, this is quite a corrupt institution which is hurting a lot of minority people, and hey, that guy shot a kid. You know?
Are the Germans minorities?
No, I meant minorities in real life.
That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah, the poor Germans.
Poor Germans.
They've just had enough. They've had a hard road. Okay. I mean, again, I don't think they're even German because they don't really speak German. It's just like German sounding.
Gobbledygook, yeah.
Yeah, it really is gobbledygook.
Which feels it feels weird to me that, like, I wonder if at some point, well, like when Alan Rickman read the script, did the script just say, like, Hans speaks German, right? Or did the script say Hans speaks random stuff that sounds like German or whatever? And then
I don't think he even
like,
talked that much in German. I think it was more like the people working underneath him shouting at each other. No,
Hans doesn't really speak in German at all. He has like a slight affected German accent at times. But it's like
Alan Rickman also just fantastic as always. Like, you know,
he's
one of his first proper movies as well.
Yeah, he's great in it. To be fair, Alan Rickman's brilliant as Hans.
Because he became an actor quite late in life. I believe he was like an architect, and then he just started doing acting a bit. You know, he didn't enter that too early in his life. So he's fantastic. Look, everyone in this movie is really enjoyable. Like it's a fantastic. Again, we're not shit on the movie. The movie's brilliant, but
it's absolutely, it's like the peak of. It's almost as good as an action movie can get. Like
it's peak,
and they don't fucking make him like this anymore. It's proper like fucking like John McClane's not a superhero, but he's an action star in that he's gonna survive things that he probably definitely shouldn't. And he like the jokes.
But you can almost believe he can survive it.
Yeah,
like,
because you just like, oh yeah, he can do that. Of course he can.
Yeah.
John McClane. John McClane had plans. Had to slip that in there somewhere. But
you know what I mean? Because I think I saw trailers of like the fourth or fifth movie or something like that, and you see him like jumping out of a lorry driving down a highway, and he survives that, and it's just like, no, that's stupid. But seeing him walk painfully over glass on the floor, and we kind of get that memory of the first scene in the movie where that guy tells him, "Oh, just scrunch up your toes if you're scared of air travel," and that it's like a whole like you can believe someone can do that. You can believe John McClane can hold onto like a hose and flip out a window, and he's very beat up by then in the movie,
But you won't believe in the power of Christmas.
No.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Do you want the stats now?
Yeah, let's get that. Should we go into our next section maybe and just do the stats there?
Okay, the final thoughts then.
Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Some
right,
statistics, as I like to call them. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot here, but there's two. So basically,
now, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are any of these done by Lad Bible? Because I know what the answer will be.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. So the first of these is a poll conducted by YouGov, which is a polling site used by the United States government for some reason.
Yes.
They're polling this. But this was done in this poll was conducted last year. So 2021, this
Joe
poll
Biden,
was conducted.
He definitely put that out there.
Yeah, probably. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, 44%.
Oh.
No, 47%. 9% of people said they don't know. But
3%.
the no's won. Okay.
Okay, just
now,
about though.
To
Not
go
much.
to go a little bit more into that. Men across the men versus is of women thing. Half of men, exactly 50% of men said it is a Christmas movie. Only 37% of women said it's a Christmas movie.
If you ever wanted to see which of the sexes is smarter, there you go.
Yeah. The second poll. Now this poll was conducted in 2019 by the Hollywood Reporter. Across all adults who were asked, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes. 25%. No.
Okay.
62%.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
The breakdown looks at, so they broke it down into age groups and everything. So the highest percentage of yeses were in the 30 to 44 age category, where 37% said yes, 51% said no.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, look, man, we're like inching towards that age, and people our age, guys our age, they'll all be saying the same shit.
Yeah,
that it is a Christmas movie,
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
yeah. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, so I kind of wanted to dial back maybe a slight nastiness at times. Now, I don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but if people feel comfortable to watch, because, okay, Christmas movies as a rule is a shared experience. If you're watching Christmas movies by yourself, it's a little sad, isn't it?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, okay, I know both of us do this, but it's a little it's meant to be like a family or friends group thing, isn't it?
I don't want to think about this.
Okay, all right. While Cozzy's Owen's dealing with that in the corner. To me, it's meant to be a group activity. It's meant to be with friends and family. It's a traditional thing you do every year. And some people do Harry Potter, which are not Christmas movies, though the first one is fairly close to Christmas.
I would say the first Harry Potter is a Christmas movie to me, but the rest aren't.
But that's what I mean. It isn't though, really, but it is to you. There are Christmas elements in it, more than in Die Hard, by the way, but it's not really a Christmas movie. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not, is it?
No, it's a Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, it's a Harry Potter movie. But so a lot of times when people want to watch Die Hard at Christmas, they are watching it with other people in their lives. They're watching it and saying, "Hey, no, it is a Christmas movie. That means you have to watch it with me and the family." So, as much as it's maybe a kind of an emotional, aggressive, "Oh, I don't want any like lovey-dovey Christmas stuff," you still kind of want to spend it with people that you care about and love to watch it.
Would you sit down with the family now on Christmas Eve and put on Die Hard?
I think it'd be on. Yeah, to be honest. Like The Great Escape is a Christmas movie, isn't it?
I didn't. I watched it now. It felt weird to be watching it at Christmas. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, but look, you watched The Great Escape at Christmas, didn't you?
No.
That is a Christmas. That's a movie that people watch at Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, but it is something that people watch around that time. They watch the old classic. It's like The Sound of Music is watched at Christmas time, even though it has zero connections to Christmas.
Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Chocolate Factory, yes.
Yes, that's what I said. Willy Chonka's Wonklet Factory.
And another German gets fucking brutalized now. You know what?
Willy Chonklet's Wonkly Factory. Call the Bondulance.
But yeah, okay. So I think there is room for traditional movies that I watched at Christmas, but I wouldn't call them Christmas movies. So yeah, sure, the first Harry Potter movie, The Sound of Music, The Great Escape, the odd James Bond movie here and there. These are all movies that RTE, like TV show, channels over here, splurge out every single Christmas, and they become a tradition. It's something that you sit down with your family to watch.
Listen, I could sit down with my fucking family every Christmas morning and watch Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. That doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Okay. But it
would be a Christmas tradition.
Okay, so, right, all right, okay, fine.
That's my point, okay?
I'm going to watch Die Hard every Easter morning exclusively.
Excellent, then it's an Easter movie for you.
Easter movie. John McClane's The Easter Bunny.
But my argument is, if people go around and say, Die Hard is thematically a Christmas movie, it fucking isn't, alright? If you watch it with your family, it's a traditional thing you watch every year, then it's your Christmas tradition, and I applaud you, and weird, but fair enough. But it is not a Christmas movie by structure and intent, and that's my main point about it.
And it's a damn good one.
Yeah. Folks, look, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We are planning on hopefully being a bit more regular next year, but we won't make that promise just in case, but we'll release as we can and as we want, and I hope you'll join us and enjoy the show. I think we've recently just hit past our 100 episodes or videos on YouTube or something like that, which is insane to me, which means we almost had something released every single day, every single week for the last 2 years.
Fair, folks.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Half of those are Andor episodes, but but no, folks, I'm glad you've been with us. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, whether you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not.
And if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then so is Iron Man 3.
Yes, it is.
And if Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie, then Christmas is dead.
Christmas is dead.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye.